TikTok with Gypsy.
The only live I seen was they were saying that Ivy Rose Grows Wild is a scammer, whatever that means.
Oh, I heard that she's taking a break. Okay, oh my God, that chick. She was just in that live and she wants to come on here. So what is she going to say to me?
Who knows?
Hello?
Oops, I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay, good. She didn't mean to. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Get to tapping. There's only 200. We need to get like 10,000 a million. And I need you to share this live and I need you to tell me some stories. Hi, Allie. Hi, Deidre, Danny, and Angela. I heard that someone told me today that Bree got banned for 20 whole minutes. Let's pick a really festive gift for tonight. Should we do that?
That would be fun. You did the lights last time.
I did the lights last time. Let's see. Is there a Christmas one? Oh, the Christmas tree is 1,000. That's too much. Why are the Christmas ones so expensive? That's redonk. That's ridiculous.
What? Whose husband? What are you talking about, Danny? That's a little weird.
What did she say?
I can't repeat it.
Oh.
I can't repeat it.
There's an ice skater. There's a cookie click. These are so expensive. Why are the Christmas ones so expensive? I don't want you guys to go broke. The kitten. Why are these so expensive? I just want like a cute Christmas one. Don't they have Christmas ones that aren't 1,000 for you guys to share?
Oh, I meant to look at the gifts. Jeez. Let's see.
There's a Happy Friday one, but that's not Christmas. Y'all shouldn't have to go on the broke just to do a gift.
Jeez, all the festive ones are like up there, aren't they?
Oh, there are 1,000,000 coins. What the hell? Why? I want like a wreath, potato in Paris, flower. Why can't there be like a wreath or something, or like a Oh, I feel like I need to pick something though. Okay, what are we gonna pick tonight? Let's do this guy. He's doing some cheers. That's kind of like festive. Okay. Hi, everyone. Oh, look, we're getting up to 3,000. I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
I don't really know how they work. Right now, I've made like less than 8 cents. Oh, thank you. Gypsy knows. Okay. So we had like a bayou. Oh, there's Ray. We had like a bayou party on the panel a couple nights ago. And all the bayou people were here.
U-turns.
Cajun, Bayou Beauty, is in the house. I see her. Okay, I'm just getting everyone invited that wants to be here. Okay, friends, keychain times 6. Thank you. It was a good live. You're from Pennsylvania. Oh, you're sad today. Don't be sad.
You're gonna have a good live, so hopefully that'll cheer you up.
What happened to Dee Dee? Are you for real?
Thing.
Oh no, her daughter murdered her.
worst way possible. There's even evidence of that on YouTube.
relentlessly and is trying to get rich off of it and slandering her name.
Okay, so let's get tapping. Let's get some fun gifts going that you can send to friends, family, get everyone going, get the TikTok shop going. Okay, so did anyone notice that Ken posted a photo from Thanksgiving on his stories to try to convince people that he's not missing?
I don't follow Ken, so I did not see that.
Thank you.
She probably made him post. She was like, you better post a picture right now.
Get tapping, everyone.
We are a happy couple.
What video did I miss that Cajun Bayou Beauty said I missed? What video was that?
What video? I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, they keep saying there's a video that we missed.
Okay, so okay, the Ethan and Bree husband thing, just so you guys know, that's not true. He's doing satire. It was like a fake video he made. He was being like, it was a roast. He didn't meet the guy. He doesn't live in Louisiana.
Ethan really roasted them?
Yeah. And then there's people that think it's real because they don't understand sarcasm.
Good. I guess that $20 for her immunity really didn't work, did it? That's a shame. Poor
Yeah.
her. Should have done 25.
Yeah.
Oh, is Ethan the guy who makes skits of Ryan and he made a skit about Bree or something? Is that what we're saying?
No, that's Oscar. No, Ethan, he roasts people, like he gets nasty.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
And Bree's husband had a thing, and Ethan is gay, so there's that. He has tattoos all over his face.
Oh, yeah. He was up here at one time. Yes.
Yeah. He has the tattoo face, correct. Oh my God, where is that bee? Where is Midnight Blade Runner? Where is she? Someone block her.
Oh, wait. Who?
I can't. Someone said she commented, but I don't see her in here, and she's usually blocked. But that's Beth, and she's a psycho. She uses massive filters, and oh my God.
Well, if I see it again, I'll make sure
I don't see a
to.
comment from anyone with a B that I don't recognize.
Wait, did you say Midnight Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Oh, I found her.
Yeah, get rid of her.
Make me a mod. Okay, I'll make you a mod. How do I do that? How do I make you a mod? Add moderator.
I've never done it, so I can't help.
I'll let you guys. Okay.
I
There you
think
go.
if you hold down her name, like when you're block or mute, and then you can make her a mod on your side.
Agent Beauty, you're a mod now. You are a mod. Okay. You a mod. I got you, girl. There's a few people in this world I trust. Okay. So there was a he posted a photo from when they were in Florida over Thanksgiving. And I'm just like, does she think people are stupid? And Ivory Grows Nose Wild. She's left. She took a break from TikTok because
What happened?
She set up a GoFundMe because she claimed that she was getting arrested or pulled over because of Gypsy, and it turned out that's not what happened. And her quote unquote husband, whoever she was with, was, I don't know, carrying greenery and a pew pew. And then she posted that she was going to be taking a break because everyone realized she was like lying about it. And my Bayou people said that she's not from the Bayou, but I guess it
What
doesn't.
what was the GoFundMe for? Like, what was she trying to like do legal
To hire a
expenses or
lawyer, but
something?
we were very unclear what she was hiring a lawyer for, but she wanted $20,000. And I'll just tell you something.
That's a hell of a lawyer.
Well, that won't go very far. You
But like for
serious?
a ticket, a speeding ticket, like
Oh, I don't know. I spent $12,000 this month on my attorneys, and I spent $12,000 last month.
It was a lot of money. A lot of money.
I think I've spent $100,000 on the lawsuit that Robert Shin filed against me.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
the last lawyer I spent money on was 40,000 for the whole case altogether.
You're lucky.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
extremely
that's
lucky.
nice.
It only lasted 5 months though, so
Disability attorneys are very expensive.
I don't know who Mary Robertson is. She's asking to join, but I don't know her. Well, how much? If you're going to do a defamation case, if you do it federally, you'll probably spend $250,000 and you won't get any money out of it. But 20K? Ha! No, it'll be way more than 20K for defamation. Way more. Way more. My case went through discovery. We did depositions. We did a summary judgment. We've had a million filings. Like, it takes forever, and it's like so much more than $20,000. Like,
oh, the retainer. She said the retainer, but my retainer just for my family court case was 40,000.
yeah, the retainer is just like the first part. That goes like your retainer will be gone in like a minute.
I was lucky that mine got like settled like without having to do too much.
I don't even have to pay a retainer. That's how much I pay my attorneys. They're just like,
They're just like,
Gypsy,
we know you're good for it. Just you'll be back.
pretty much. Gypsy canceled herself by writing that book. I thought you guys knew.
She
Have you
also
seen?
canceled herself morally when she murdered her mother, but we're not gonna get into that.
She keeps getting on here and making things worse for herself. That's pretty much it
Well,
too.
I'm not going to settle with Robert Shin. He can bite me. I will never settle with Robert Shin. And if you settle lawsuits, you guys, all it does is it encourages more people to sue you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a journalist and someone sees that they can intimidate you by filing a lawsuit to get you to settle, then everyone's going to sue you. Because all they're going to think is, all I have to do is file a lawsuit and then I can get her to stop talking or stop reporting. And that's like a horrible precedent to send or message to send. So
Cody Brown would have a field day.
huh?
Said Cody Brown would have a field day.
Oh, he would.
Cody Brown he has a custody case to worry about.
I don't think that's going to do well for him. I think a lot of things are going to come out that we didn't know about, and it's just going to show what a neglectful father he really, really is to the mass public.
Yep.
I think that, and I think Christine's gonna have like problems too. I don't think it's gonna be like blameless on either side. I think a judge is gonna look at both sides and be like, "Wow, this is a messy situation."
There's a lot of problems on both ends, both sides. If I were a court, Christine had made some very impulsive decisions when she married David without knowing him and just going off a gut feeling that he's the one for her. And she moved a strange man in with her daughter after 3 months. Like
That I do not approve of.
I would never.
No.
Not to mention, I mean, she practiced polygamy, which was illegal, and then all the other scams and stuff that they have to admit that she's gotten because of not having him on her birth certificates and stuff for her children. I mean, it's a lot. It's pretty messy, really.
Taking advantage of the system, the government, food stamps. I mean, that's all going to come out.
Yeah, they're going to do something different because he's countersuing her, reality TV cat junkie. So you can be super cute and think you know, but it's not going to be that easy. They are like they just met this week, and there's possibilities that they will get a guardian ad litem. There's possibilities that there will be a custody evaluation for both parents. It's a mess, quite honestly. And I'm sorry, but like Christine did not carry health insurance for her kids. And to me, that is child neglect. Like, if you don't take care of your children and provide them health insurance, you are a neglectful mother.
And not to mention, they almost let Truly's kidneys fail.
Yep. And that, I mean, as much as you want to say that that's on Cody, she came home and didn't take her to the doctor right away.
That's
Like-
insanity.
Nobody cared that Truly wasn't drinking water or going to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the problem is they film so much, and even though some of it is, fake or made for the television, it's out there as proof for the court, and they have years and years of behavior from all everybody.
And honestly, like some of the behavior I'm seeing from Christine this year, she feels like she's kind of a narcissist herself. Like,
Feels like she knows it all, but
not just that she knows it all, but she's just doing all of it for show. Like, it just, she keeps saying that David is her soulmate. And I'm like, prove it. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen the love of your life vibe yet. Like, I just don't. I mean, in the last week's episode, she's like, yeah, we're planning this wedding and we're doing all these things, and I don't even really know him. Like, that's a big red flag.
yeah, no, totally. I completely agree with you. And again, the moving a man in that you don't really know with an underage child. I mean, if you're a grown adult and you don't have kids, I mean, go at it, I don't care. But you're bringing an adult man with a young child. I don't like that.
Not to mention all the things that she says she likes about him are just things about monogamy that she would have gotten from anyone who was monogamous, really.
It's like she found the first guy that gave her attention, and like that was where she settled. And it's like, I'm not that sold on David, to be honest. Like, I haven't really seen anything from him where I'm like, yeah, that's the guy.
That's the thing I'm worried about, because when I got out of my first narcissistic relationship, the next guy was like, oh my gosh, this is the one. This is the one I've been really wanting. Oh my goodness. And I was just head over heels. And I think that's what's happening here.
He's as much of a fundamentalist as Cody. Like, he has basically the same politics. He like is into the same kind of manosphere crap that Cody's in. His ex,
I don't
and
know.
what I think is really bizarre is that his late wife unalived herself, and they just talk about it like he is like this. He doesn't say anything nice about his late wife ever.
Oh, that's
And I'm
sad.
like, they filed for divorce 4 times before she unalived herself.
Well, that's very telling.
She was like, I'm going to leave. Now I'm going to stay. And then she just left altogether out of the world.
Yeah. And then she wrote a letter basically saying that he was selfish and a narcissist. And then he responded by telling the Sun, well, that's just a letter, and people say a lot of things when they're dying. It's wild.
JC Hart said letting him babysit her grandbabies. Yeah, I mean, if it's so soon being with the guy and letting him be around the grandbabies, I don't know how I feel about that either. I'm not keen on it.
And why'd you get rejected? What'd you get rejected from? What happened to you?
But I don't know who she is, and I don't.
I get rejected all the time, Ash.
I've never seen her in my chat before. Never.
What'd you need, Ash? What's up? What's
She wants to
happening with you?
No, she wants to come up, but I don't recognize her, so I'm not like if I haven't seen you before, I'm not in the
Oh, I know
mood.
that. I wanted her to just write it in the chat. Like, what did she want
Why
to come
does
up for?
Mary Robertson keep trying to come up here? I don't know who she is.
Wasn't
Who?
she in the last live? Oh, Ash, you can just do that in the chat.
Kay said don't let her come up.
Hey, kid, do you know who Ash is?
Is she a gypsy supporter? People can request to come up, but I don't always let people come up. I'm very picky. Right, Faith?
She's extremely picky.
Yes.
Her
Thank you,
page is
Kay.
a red flag. Okay. She looks kind of spammy here, so I'm gonna just goodbye.
Goodbye.
When
Goodbye.
people start, like taking over the chat and they're new, it just makes me uncomfortable. I feel like they're like doing something. Thanks, Kay.
Thank you, Kay.
Always. Okay. But what has been happening on the mean streets? Like, did you pay attention to anything happening with the Bree crew?
I'm blocked from every little thing that they do, and it's really hurtful.
It is. It's painful.
I've just been seeing things that people were being kicked out of the book signing, or if they were already there. Things happening in that kind of sphere, which I think a lot of us have seen. So I was just like, okay, wow.
I also wanted to say that that Christopher guy. What do you mean she posted a thing about Faith? What are you talking about?
Did Bree post something about our sweet Faith? This sweet flower?
And my husband is now just telling me in the chat.
Yeah, so somebody from Morbid's panel or someone like made a Facebook page or an Instagram page, and it's basically posted every single one of her friends. And it's like all about, like it has all of their real names.
That's so smart.
It has like that quad lady and Sheena and Crystal with the something or other CVS receipts. And they have all these like terrible angled pictures up there. Like someone sent it to me and I was like, this is really I don't know if it's from Morbid's panel or not. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if it's from Morbid's panel. I don't know if but it's someone that has a lot of information about who people are.
Very interesting. Bree's panel just kind of tattles on themselves of what they're doing. I don't know.
I can confirm that it's not Aaron Sweetheart that made that page. I can tell you that Aaron did not make that page. Aaron knows about the page, but she did not know that. She did not make that page. But I would just leave Aaron alone, Bree. Like, leave her alone.
I don't even know who Aaron is. Unless maybe I see the picture.
I don't think it's Rez either. I feel like if Rez was going to do something like that, they would just post it on their own account. And I think it's weird because everyone was like, Rez is the crazy one. But if you actually look at the facts of this information, it's like Bree was trying to project onto everyone else that Rez was the bad one, but she's really the bad one. I feel like if Rez had something to say, they'd just post it on their own page. Same with Pez and Fez. Res, Pez, and Fez. And I'm not like, it's probably Beth, honestly. She always like does both sides. Oh, the photos they have of Beth are so bad. Like, all I'm gonna say is like if you're gonna be on the internet bullying people and you're being gonna be critical of people's weight and their faces, and Bree doesn't like my cuticles, which I'm sorry, I'm not a nails person. Oh, you guys, hold on. I have a picture. Remember that picture I sent to you, Faith?
I was trying to get screenshots of Bree's post about me since my adoring husband just now brings it up in the chat.
I can't handle what hers doing. What's her pinky doing?
What is happening? Those are Bree's hands?
Yes, she showed off her new nails.
When I seen that, like, I jumped away from
I don't even have a cuticle on one of my nails. I don't know why, but mine look better than that.
Katie sent that. I just opened it and like waited.
I didn't understand it.
I said, "Wow." Wow.
I don't understand it.
The claws are out.
I don't do my nails because I pick everything, and I'm just not into nails. Like you guys, I've got 4 cats and 2 dogs, and I'm not high maintenance and all of that. Like when you get your nails done like that, like it's such a pain in the ass. You have to go and like get them filed down like every 2 weeks. It's just, ugh. And then when you do get them, it actually destroys your nail beds, and they're expensive and they smell like. But yeah, you do your cosmetology, so you would like that. I just don't do nail polish. That's not my thing.
Oh, it was the post about Sheena trying to defend the fact that it wasn't me that she was talking about when we all know it was me, and how she didn't know you had a mod named Faith, which is strange because I've spoken to her on your panel. And they've only like streamed your panels for months now. It's just a weird flex to lie about, really.
I'm definitely, I did like nails for my wedding. I think that might have been the last time I had them, and that was like 15 years ago. And it wasn't all this stuff. Like back then, it was like French tips were the thing. Now it's all these weird, like pointy. Are the nails that they had the super pointy tips? That
No, they have to shave those down like that. So they put a regular one on, and she picks her shape.
no, I know, but remember when they were like when Khloe Kardashian and Lady Gaga wore those ones that were like super pointy? Are those still a thing?
Stiletto
yeah.
nails, yeah.
Yeah, Chapel Roan was just wearing some at one of the awards or whatever.
She's got those are stiletto nails, is what she's wearing. An attempt at them anyway. I like coffin nails.
Mm-hmm. No, I wanted to get my nails done for a concert, and it was going to be 180, and I was like, no, no. So I just did mine myself, and they were fine. It was drama, but I don't know. I don't like nails either. I gotta take off my nail polish.
See, those nails, honestly, when they get them really long and they're like the coffins, are the coffins the ones that are like super pointy?
No, those are stiletto nails. The coffin nails are like the normal nails that they used to have that were like French tip nails, but they just like taper them at the top a little bit to make them a little bit thinner, but they still have the box shape at the top.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So when they're really long like that, all I can think about is all the dirt that gets stuck underneath them.
Yeah, no, mine don't go past like the tip of my finger. Mine look like my natural nails. I don't get super long nails because I have children. I don't want to scratch them.
All I think about is all the dirt that would get stuck underneath them. All I think about is all the dirt that would get stuck underneath them. And then
Yeah,
I
I
would,
can't do it.
I don't know. It just feels like dirty. I have to deal with like medicine. Like I have, my son is on so many meds, and I have to like deal with syringes and like feeding tubes. I just can't. Nails would not work. He would
My
probably hate.
husband is like you, Katie. He hates super long nails, so I always get mine short. He despises them as a person.
I don't put any polish on my nails. I bite my nails and I rip my nails. I am not a nail person. I'm sorry, you guys. So thank you for my having. But if you have, I can't have nails, you guys. I spend all day feeding tube, because I really have a sick kid. Feeding tubes, syringes, medications. Do you know how much of a pain in the ass it would be to try to get meds out of a bottle?
Yeah, it's a lot, especially because I put on some fake nails and I was like, oh no, I can't put my underwear on. Like I couldn't do it, and so I'm like, okay, how am I going? I should have gotten dressed and then did the nails like
I missed the
fully
gift.
because I
Oh,
had to wear
I
a
didn't see it.
dress.
Thank you for the gift.
Yeah, put on your dress and Spanx and everything first, then do your nails instead of doing them in your PJs like I did.
So there was a new thing that happened. I feel like there's nothing.
Has
Harry,
anyone ever, like, when we were in that live earlier, Katie?
yeah.
What was that Christopher guy? Like, he's
Oh my God, can we talk about the cowboy guy? I am
is that
so
okay? Is that
I'm
guy?
sick of these creators platforming these idiots that don't know people that are just doing shit for clout. And I would think that some of these creators that are trying to post factual shit would actually pay attention to the kind of people they're giving attention to.
Is he Cowboy Bear, like the one that they were talking about that Ken was
The one that
like,
was trying to say he met Ken on Grindr. Like, shut up.
yeah, okay. But then he has no messages but from Grinder, and just so everybody knows, Grinder is just random screen names. It's not even you wouldn't prove anything. That could have been anybody's messages. Anybody's. Most people on Grinder don't have pictures or anything up, just so everyone knows.
No, he and Ken did not have a thing. There was no thing.
That rumor needs to stop every single time we go on live. That's like the thing people bring up.
Chris was saying he was with Ken, but he has not been with Ken. It's false.
If he was with Ken, why doesn't he have no pictures with him? Why does he have no text messages from him or phone calls?
There's no Netflix show about Gypsy. Do you understand? Like, there's no more documentaries being made about Gypsy. There's nothing new to talk about.
That's why she made the book, and it's full of lies.
There's
And
no
she's probably going to make another one.
There's no networks are going to do another Gypsy documentary. Like, they're not interested.
How's it gonna be all proved on Netflix if it didn't happen? He's nothing. You think they only communicated on Grinder? If they actually talked, they would text, they would Snapchat, they would call, they would do something.
Why would and he can't, she's under a contract with Lifetime. So they can't do, no, this is the last season. So Lifetime is the last season, but that's not a documentary. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but like Life After Lockup is not a documentary. That's a reality show. They're filming a reality show now. They're not doing a documentary anymore. No, okay. Cowboy is a liar. Cowboy's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. He knows nothing. He's a liar. He's a liar. And he's a liar. Have I said it enough that he's a liar?
I don't know. People don't seem to believe you.
And what the fuck? There's not going to be a documentary about Ken. Nobody gives a shit about Ken. Are you kidding me? Okay, I will tell you a secret. I worked with Netflix. I actually did. I work with Netflix still. I have I could go contact John at Netflix today and ask him, and he will probably tell me that's a lie.
What has Ken done to make a documentary of?
No one cares about Ken. No one. What did he do? His sperm got a convicted murderer pregnant. That's about the biggest accomplishment he's ever had in his life.
Woo!
Besides being able to make a martini.
It's not a documentary, then it's not going to be on Netflix. Like, why do you guys actually think this guy is telling you the truth?
So you guys don't believe Katie, but you believe this guy. All right. All right, go off.
Cowboy also said he had sex with Ken, and that's a lie. Cowboy said, I'm under an NDA." No, you're not. If you were under an NDA, I'll tell you what. I was under an NDA with a production company for 2 years. And guess what? If you have a project coming out with Netflix, you can't say anything. You can't even tell them it's coming. You don't get to say shit until Netflix says it's okay to say shit. So for 2 years, I had to bite my tongue and just act like nothing was happening because if I violated my NDA, Netflix could sue me. You also don't get to say I have an NDA, and you don't have an NDA with Netflix, by the way. Netflix doesn't do NDAs. Production companies do NDAs.
Like cats and crochet, our good friend.
You guys, I can't believe you're like literally even entertaining this. You guys are ridiculous in the chat if you actually believe him that he's telling you the truth.
For the longest time, he wouldn't even show his face, and then all of a sudden he gets on Morbid's panel, and then all of a sudden now he's just coming out. Like, please be serious.
And why, I mean, you know what I think is gross though?
Hmm.
The homophobia that's done with what they're doing, even though he's a gay man. You know,
Exactly.
Perez Hilton actually lost a huge following because became notorious for outing people that did not want to be out. And outing people when they don't want to be out can actually get people killed. And so in 2024, we should know better than to support people that are trying to out other people. It's nobody's business.
And it's not like he cheated on Gypsy with this guy. So it doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, who
You
cares?
actually spread love. You cannot say that you have signed an NDA. You can't. You
Unless
absolutely
the
can't.
NDA's up.
Nope. You can't. Now that the show is out, I can say I had an NDA, but I couldn't tell any of you guys that I signed an NDA. I know you can't. I worked on a documentary for Netflix. You cannot tell people you have an NDA. You can't tell people you're working on something. You can't tell them you have a production company with you. You can't tell them anything.
Which is the whole point of the NDA.
Part of the NDA says you can't say that you have an NDA.
It's interesting how people think they know more than you because you have experience. I don't know. This is weird.
Every single NDA I have signed in the entertainment field that makes productions all say you can't say shit about the NDA. But you know what? I'm just going to mute all of you guys. I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm just saying that like I literally worked on Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. We started production on that in March of 2022. From March of 2022 until the end of April in 2024, I couldn't say a word. 2 years, I couldn't say a word. I couldn't say Netflix was involved. I couldn't say what production companies were involved. I couldn't say what people were involved. I couldn't even say what it was.
Exactly. And considering he's claiming to have one from the same network, wouldn't the NDA be similar to the one you signed then?
And I heard him say it was on Netflix, and when he said that, I was like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If he, first of all, if he was doing a project with, say it was Netflix, Netflix doesn't sign NDAs. They don't. Netflix, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're just the streaming platform. They're not the production company. They're not making the content. They're just the venue of where the content is placed. Netflix uses production companies that pitch them projects, and then they decide if they want to work with a project. Sometimes Netflix does what are called Netflix originals, but those are still not Netflix. It's a production company. And Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, was a Netflix original, okay? But the production company was Dirty Robber Entertainment and WVE Entertainment. My contract was with Dirty Robber. And I wasn't trying to get sued by Dirty Robber or Netflix. And I'll tell you one thing. Netflix doesn't want anyone to know what is coming or what they're working on, because here's the problem. When you're doing work on a hot topic, like if it's something that's viral, you have to protect sources. We were at one point in time, we were competing with HBO. There was a competing project that was announced and launched by Chrissy Teigen's group for the same project through Campfire Media. And it was going to be in conjunction with Chrissy Teigen's production company. And for a while, we were shopping our project against their project at HBO. So when that's happening and you have competing production companies trying to get the same pool of people, that's why the production companies and Netflix don't want anyone to know what they're working on. So you can't even say it's going to be on Netflix. It's Bree's hand. So I'm just I don't know. It's why did Cowboy show up? It's like Cats and Crochet got bored. She got tired of being quiet, so she had to come back. And now Cowboy was like, I'm tired of not getting attention, so I have to come back and make up a bunch of lies.
He said that. He said I was quiet for 4 months. Good for you.
So proud.
He was quiet for 4 months because everyone realized he was a liar. Everyone is a liar. So there's not going to be anything about Ken. Cowboy is not interesting enough to have anything about him. I worked on Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. Oh, he's trying to pretend like he's been in contact with Ken still, and that he knows all this information about what's going on with Ken and Gypsy. He's just full of shit. He was on a live he was on the live of Cajun, the Cajun one that's trying to be the Gypsy account, but it's the fake account. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Heart of mine.
Yeah, but it's not her account. It's like the fake account. And I walked into the live because you sent it to me and he was talking about that. And I said, "You're a liar. You're a liar."
I did was ask him for proof. Just say, show proof then. And he wouldn't do it.
Well, remember how he was going to share revenge corn to prove to Morbid that he had video of him and Ken having sex?
Oh no.
Yeah.
He'd have that videotape, but not a single text message. That's strange.
I know. And again, it's 2024 and we don't out people.
We don't share private videos even if people did break up too. We don't do that.
Felony. That's a fucking felony. Who the
Yeah.
hell does that?
Ugh.
Sometimes the sideshow of the Gypsy story is more entertaining than Gypsy, to be honest.
Truly. I agree with you.
And the people that like come out of the woodwork and then the creators that believe them, it just makes me laugh. It's like hysterical. And I was actually disappointed because that Lauren chick that makes all those videos on Gypsy Rose, you know, where she has her face all right up there and she's like, "Oh no, Gypsy Rose, she doesn't want you to know this." You know that girl?
Oh yeah.
She was in that live with him and she's like, "We believe you. I know we believe you."
She said that?
Yes.
I feel kind of hurt now.
Just so you know, like their NDAs don't cover if they have a breakup. I don't know why people keep saying that if they broke up, they can't say anything. That's not true. They were filming when Ryan and Gypsy broke up and it got out to the media. Like if it happened and if it happens, it's not locked down by an NDA. They can say whatever they want. Even if it's filmed, they can say it. But I was like, why is this Lauren chick on this thing? And that's why I can't take that girl seriously. She also made a video trying to say that Gypsy was trying to go after her baby. And I was like, no, she didn't. Gypsy doesn't even know who you are, Lauren. Like, stop. They didn't break up.
Definitely didn't break up. They're trying to say that they did, but they can't say nothing because of an NDA. They are still together. He's just MIA right now. We don't really know where he's at, to be honest, but they're definitely together.
I don't understand why people are trying to interject themselves when they don't know them personally.
I know, that's the other part that I think is weird. Like, I understand, like I understand why some people like talked about Gypsy, but like so many creators just jump on this story and they don't know anything. They believe whatever they hear. They believe these idiots that say they know them or whatever. I actually did know them. It's like one of my least favorite memories. And so I'm like, but what kind of weirds me out about the Lauren girls videos is like, why is she making videos about stuff from the case that is old?
Maybe to educate those who don't know, because I see a lot of people asking for the same information that's been out forever.
I know, but some of the stuff that she puts in her videos isn't even true. She just like thinks she knows it because I don't know. I don't know. Okay wants to come on.
Hello, Kay.
Hi.
I didn't even know I did that.
Oh.
I was picking up my phone, but hi.
Hello.
I see Suzette. Suzette's in the chat. Edie's best friend from high school. Hi, Suzette.
Hi.
What's good tonight?
Not much. found out today that my cousin passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It was my first cousin, and we grew up together. We were like brother and sister instead of cousins.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I've been crying most of the day.
Oh, you want to distract yourself?
Yeah, I could stay on for a little while. My sister-in-law came up this weekend, and we're gonna be going to Hattiesburg and do stuff tomorrow to get my mind off it stuff.
How did they pass away?
They're not sure. His son found him, and he was having back problems and all that, but his son found him dead.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
So creative was the Three Musketeers with Dee Dee. And she and Titania and Dee Dee were like besties back in the 80s.
Yep.
He was around when Dee Dee was in love with the Night Ranger guy.
Yeah.
So she really did think that guy was her boyfriend. He told people that was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the craziest lie she ever told?
Oh God. What I believed was a lie. She told me that she had got raped
Oh, really? By who?
by one of the guys from down the by. Like, it was a guy from where we're from, and his family was very prominent in the community.
Okay.
Yeah, they had like a business, and they were very well known in the community. And she told me that he raped her and where it was at. And at the time, I was like, I don't think he would do that. He doesn't seem like the type. And I said, well, if that's true, well, why didn't you call the cops? She said, oh, they won't believe me because of who he is. And so, I don't think it happened. I think she was just saying shit, like saying stuff. And she never told anybody else. Nobody else that I've talked to, she told them that.
April, what is your problem? Why are you so like upset over there? You're acting like you're having a heart attack in the chat. So that's a wild lie.
Yeah.
Was she really a pathological liar?
No. I mean, yeah, she did lie sometimes, but I wouldn't say pathological.
Okay. Do you think she lied for the purpose of like be thinking like she was more interesting than she was?
Yeah, like to get attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Gypsy does.
Yeah. The gypsy's 10 times worse.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Was she into like the shoplifting and stuff when you were around?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
So when did that start? I wonder.
I don't know. Not when I was friends with her.
So she wasn't like into the conning stuff or like,
I mean, like when we would go out to the greenhouse, which was our local spot where we went out, that's where everybody went. And if we didn't have a lot of money that weekend to spend on drinks, well, she would like steal a bottle of alcohol from her dad's liquor cabinet and bring it with her, and then we'd go inside the greenhouse and get us a cup of Coke and a ice for like 50 cents. And then we pour the Cokes in the ice glass. So we'd have like 2 half cups of Coke, and then we'd pour the Jack Daniels she had. We'd pour that in it, and so we got the drink for a lot cheaper. She would do like steal from her dad's liquor cabinet, that kind of stuff, but never
like
nothing.
Everyone did that. At least
Yeah.
I did. Like,
Never nothing worse than that. And she did that pretty often. So I guess her dad wasn't a drinker because he didn't catch on.
interesting.
Because I would ask her, your dad's not gonna fuss you for this? She's like, no, he'll never notice.
He'll never notice.
Yeah, that's what she would tell me. And even like one night, it was Christmas Eve, and I had a cousin that passed away, another first cousin that had passed away. It was Christmas Eve morning that he passed away, and we were all planning to go out to the greenhouse that night. And because he passed away, I told her and Titania said, I'm not going because my cousin passed, and I'm gonna go to church to midnight mass, and then I'm coming home. Well, Dee Dee made it a point to come and meet me at church and come to church with me. And in the parking lot, she had brought a bottle of Jack Daniels from her dad's liquor cabinet, and she brought some cups, and we made a toast to my cousin in the parking lot of church.
Aw.
And then she came to church with me, and then after, like, they hugged me bye, and then she went to the greenhouse, and I went home with my little brother. He was with me. So that's the type of friend she was.
So she could be nice and like caring. And she also, what did you say the other day? She had like a, what was it? Not a caterpillar, but a cricket or something. And
cricket.
she,
It was a black cricket she found in the yard that looked hurt, and she put it inside in an aquarium, and that was her pet. She helped it, like nursed it back to health.
why did Rod be like, she wasn't from around here. She had a pet tarantula. Like,
She may have had a tarantula because I know she always wanted one, but not when I was friends with her, because I was like, if you have a tarantula, I'm never going to your house because I'm scared of spiders. So she may have had one because I know she always wanted one.
Hey, Katie, remember that creator we were talking about earlier? They just entered the chat.
Cajun Heart of Mine.
One.
She was platforming Cowboy and Cowboy's a Liar. And crickets,
For Rod to say that he didn't know she looked like she wasn't from around here, that's a lie because everybody knew Dee Dee because she was a big flirt. She loved to flirt with the guys.
did you see that, like, in her book, like, so Rod basically was Gypsy's memory and acted like, you know, and the whole book is basically, the whole first chapters of like it are Gypsy through her dad justifying why he cheated on Dee Dee because they didn't have enough sex.
I only got to the third page in her book. I didn't finish reading it.
Is it okay?
But Rod would have cheated on her no matter what.
Knows it all too well.
Yeah.
Rod still cheats.
Yeah, he does.
I'm still trying to, like, we need to have like a panel where it's like Rod's illegitimate children.
That would be a good one.
Or Rod's mistresses. Like,
I don't think there's enough spaces.
oh God, you know, Christy was on a live with Natasha Cooper, and someone said, like, in the chat was like, "Oh, I fucked your husband," and she's like, "Oh, you did?" Like, it's like, oh, that was like, you were snapping like that's happened, Christy.
She found it. She's like, "Where are you from? Are you his cousin?"
Yeah, a Rod's Extras reunion. Like, I want to. There's probably like 37,000 different kids out there, and because he works out in like Rhode Island, I think. I bet you he's got a bunch of kids in Rhode Island too. I get the sense from Rod that he thinks that he's like, you know, the 55-year-old or whatever, 53-year-old that has like a hot, he thinks like, because he's thin, that he's like, he needs to just embrace that he's bald, honestly. Stop wearing the
You can tell he's like that because in Mia's videos, he tries to act like the cool dad. You know, like the one that's like all like around her friends, you know, like hanging on them. Like he gives me those vibes.
He's probably the cool dad that's trying to fuck me as friends, honestly.
Hinting at it. I just didn't want to come out and say it.
We should
Probably
do a
so.
party where like it's like a paternity test party for all the like illegitimate.
You want to play Maury?
Yes. Rod, you are not the father.
No.
Rod, you are the father. Yeah, so in 2017, he was like flirting with girls and people in those Facebook groups, and that's when Christy made him get rid of their Facebook page, and he has to have a joint page with her now.
He was like, yeah, so my daughter murdered her mother. What are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
I had heard that Christy had left for a weekend to go spend a weekend with one of her friends, and Rod was waiting for her at home with a bouquet of flowers. And she had posted on Facebook, look, the flowers that Rod sent me after I was away for the weekend. But she was with a significant other, so they
Oh,
cheated on each other.
so there's someone else that wants to F her. Gross.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Christy cheats, but she doesn't like Ken. Don't worry. Yeah, so gross. It's like a Bayou thing, isn't it? Why does everyone cheat in the Bayou?
I don't know.
It's hard to stay away from all their exes because they meet them at family reunions.
That's funny.
You could totally. I bet Rod was so excited for Mia's graduation because he probably was like, new dating pool.
Dude from Louisiana, didn't she?
Yeah.
He's probably looking for his illegitimate children up there. He's like, that one doesn't look like me. That one doesn't look like me.
Probably. He's lucky that he had one kid graduate. They're bored and they're poor.
Only be swingers if both of them agree, and I think Christy is highly against it.
Well, I think Christy would love everyone to think that she's not doing it, but she's doing it. But I feel like Christy would be a cheater just to spite him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Probably to get back at him.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to blow my nose.
It sounds like when you actually have a cold.
Yeah.
That was good, babe.
I've got the worst fucking cold ever. Like 2
Yeah.
days ago, I felt like I got hit by a fucking freight train. And ever since then, my throat's been weird. And then cannot breathe for shit. And my taste buds are off. And I don't have COVID or the flu.
This dude who's Video Rocker, he says we can't generalize the Bayou folk, but he says on his thing it says that he is a carpenter, musician, singer, and a guitarist. So you know that he's got groupies, and he's got probably 16 kids. Just saying.
He's
I always
passing
think-
he's passing his sperm around like that doctor.
Yeah, I feel like all the dudes
No,
that are
he's
like,
not like that. That Video Rocker, he's not like that.
Well,
He
he's
ain't
not.
nothing like Rod.
Okay. We're just playing Video Rocker. We're just playing.
Feel better. I come from a town just like that, actually.
I mean, I'm sure Gypsy's dad and my baby daddy would get along. He passes his sperm around like it's nothing.
Well, why do you think Rod was like, it's just a piece of paper?
Marriage means nothing. It just gets you out of child support.
Not true.
I don't know why Pink Pony was banned. I know nothing. Oh, you're friends with Suzette. Thanks.
Yeah. That's what I said. He's nothing like Rod.
That's good. So it's good to know that not everyone's a terrible human being.
Right.
Okay, first of all, Mia's not making money off of any of this, just so you guys know. Like,
Mia blocked me.
Mia's not making money off this stuff. Like she's not she's been at college. Like she lives like I think college is a couple hours from where they even live. And she's not getting paid by Lifetime. She's like an extra, basically. She's not making money off of it. She doesn't agree. And she doesn't agree with Gypsy. Did you notice in the graduation pictures that Gypsy wasn't there?
Does Dylan ever show up to any family function anymore? Anybody know?
I haven't seen him in any of the pictures.
Dylan does, but he just doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be on social media. She's not getting paid, Aaron. She's not. I don't know if you know anything about reality television, but Mia's not getting paid. She's not. The contracts are with Gypsy. Gypsy's getting paid. Gypsy and Ryan were the ones that got paid. I don't think even Rod and Christy got paid.
Paid from the rent that Gypsy supposedly pays them.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you guys understand how reality television contracts work, but it's not like there's a ton of money in them, and extras like Mia don't get paid. It's like the kids from Sister Wives. You all know that none of the kids on Sister Wives get paid, right? Like all the kids, them on that show, none of them get paid.
Is that how is sorry, is Dylan does Dylan have a daughter or a son or something?
Dylan has, I think, 2 kids, 1 kid. Do you know, Suzette? One.
Oh, wait. I was talking to my daughter. What?
How many kids does Dylan have? 1?
I don't know. Christy's son. I know you don't. He's the same age as one of my kids. I don't know which one.
He doesn't have kids. I know kids on reality television should be paid, but they're not. Yeah, the grown adult Browns don't get paid at all. Like McKelty literally gave birth on the show this season, got no money. Why would you even do that?
You're not getting paid for it.
Like, why are you gonna want to like have a reality television producers like pointing a camera at your hoo-ha for no money? It's like what Jim Bob Duggar did.
If I'm showing my badge on live TV, y'all better be paying me.
Never understood that because, like, with the Duggars, it was all about modesty. And I was very young when I started watching them, and I was like, well, but you're giving birth on live TV, and that kind of goes against what you're talking about. I never understood that.
Trust me. The pretentious bitches that say they're so modest, but yet are always pregnant and telling you they're pregnant, which basically is telling you that they're having sex all the time. And then they talk about how much they're having sex and giving their husbands, you have to be joyfully available to your husbands at all times. I'm always joyfully available to Jim Bob because if I give him what he needs, he gives me what I need.
She really did say that. And they also have a whole how-to book to lose your virginity on your wedding night.
Yes, they do. They have a whole how-to guide that they give to their kids for their honeymoon, which includes towels, paper towels, a bunch of douche items, lidocaine, a book where they have to stretch. They literally tell their boys that they need to stretch the hymen of the cervix and that they need to do it for like a half an hour.
Nah, that ain't gonna work for me.
Like, what? And then it's like a step-by-step book on how to stretch the hymen, cervix, and a book called Intended for Pleasure by this creepy psychologist guy, and on biblical like sex. And then they also have them take like pregnancy tests on their honeymoon. They tell them to bring like lots of water bottles, lots of lotions,
Scented
candles.
oils and lubes to
Yes, oils,
you know
baby
that bed
oil.
smells awful by the end of the week. That is a case of BV and yeast infection waiting to happen.
Yeah,
Oh, you are
and they
so
tell them
right.
to even just bring their own towels for the bed so that like and these are the fundies that like act like they're so prude.
Nah, that's oh.
It's me a lavender oil.
Oh,
I
lavender
know.
oil down there? Oh no.
You
But
know
the
it
fact that
burns.
my favorite thing about Faith is she was such a silent watcher that she knows about my list. That means that means you were following me for like at least 4 years.
It's been longer than that. I think it's closer to like 5 or maybe 6 because I was watching you when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. When I was cleaning my house, I was resting.
Oh wow. Okay. See, you showed up on TikTok and I was like, I don't even know who you are. Like I don't even know if you comment. Do you comment on YouTube?
I would just play your videos in the background, and explain the how Christine was related to Cody Brown.
Oh God. Janelle Evans videos. Oh my God. I remember those. Back when I was super skinny. When I first got on my medication for my ADHD.
You know what did that to me though?
What?
What is that? What is that stuff called? Oh, oh man, what is it? It's like so. It's like I'll think of it. Give me a second.
I don't know. When I first got on my meds for ADHD, I dropped like 30 pounds and I've gained most of it back.
Prozac. I got on Prozac. That's what it was. My doctor put me on Prozac for anxiety, and that made me not want to eat at all for like 2 weeks. I lost like 20 pounds. It was terrifying. I got off of it.
Yeah, I got down so low and then I finally learned how to eat on Adderall and now I'm fine. I haven't been on TikTok for 4 years, so that's wild. I wonder who you've been following on TikTok.
My doctor had to take me off of Adderall and switch me to something else. They so I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was in kindergarten, my dad said. And they just like cold turkey took me off my meds and it, like tried to find something better for my ADHD. And if anybody knows, with ADHD, you can't, especially a child, you can't just take them off meds cold turkey. You have to do something
Weed
else
them. Yeah.
because it can develop other issues. And that's
Yeah.
what I wrote a Facebook post about that, and my dad commented, and he's like, "Well, the meds that you were given weren't working." Okay, I was like, "Well, why didn't you try something else?" You know, because half of the issues I have today are due to you not taking my mental health seriously.
Oh, girl. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 38 years old.
Well, my dad was like, "Well, what do you think they did back then?" I'm like, "Well, I can't live this way no more, Dad." I was like, I just can't do it. I can't."
I was treated the same.
I have unmedicated ADHD, but I choose to go unmedicated without it just because the medicine that I have to take for my anxiety would mix with the ADHD medicine and it just wouldn't go well. So I had to pick and choose. So I picked the one that bothers me the most.
I
What
have
did-
both. I have both, but they gave me meds that don't. My anxiety meds don't fuck with my ADHD meds.
My anxiety meds are a controlled substance, so I can't take it with another controlled substance that's like an upper.
I gotcha. And then they also gave me something because I was getting headaches and I've had bad headaches since I was a kid. She gave me something where it helps headaches, it's supposed to help sleeping, but I think honestly it doesn't really help me sleep, but I think it does help with the headaches and it's supposed to help with anxiety as well. But I might ask her to like up it, but because I don't feel like too much of it's doing something, but it needs improvement, basically.
I was unmedicated my whole life and I had such bad problems growing up. Just like
I did too.
like I had I don't know if you have ADHD, if any of you had the paranoid like anxiety where you get like on the loop and you go to like the worst case scenario and you're paranoid about like death or the worst possible outcome.
Oh, I do
was
that every day with my husband. Every day.
Yeah.
And he hates
And
it.
I typically end up in a panic attack.
Yeah. So that was my life until I got on meds. And then I got on meds. Then I like dropped 30 pounds. Then I gained it back. So
I feel since I've been back on this med, like ADHD med journey, I feel like it's improving slowly, but
Yeah.
I feel
Yes,
I can notice a difference.
a symptom of ADHD is spiraling like paranoid anxiety. So it's like not paranoia.
It's having trouble focusing.
Well, it's an anxiety loop because you're lacking dopamine. So you're just like you hyper focus on something, and the thing you're thinking about is the worst possible outcome. It's just a spiral it's a comorbid that happens with ADHD.
And
It's
it
not
causes you to react to situations that actually aren't happening. So it can cause you to be like mean or like not nice, especially if it's like focused on one person or something you might think they're doing or they said or like or something like that. It just like you
you might
focus
be
on it.
paranoid that everyone hates you or that like you're not being I used to always think like everyone's doing things and I'm never invited because everyone hates me. Like that was like the loop that always played in my head.
I don't know, but I can sense when people don't like me. I feel it. I can just sense it when I walk around somebody, just the way they look, and if somebody's looking at me funny, I can tell. As I watch people's body language.
This is like way like this is like something that like causes you. It's weird. Like it's hard to explain. It's not just like you think so. It doesn't. It's like you like hyper focus on any like they could say one thing that sounds like a little off, and you think it's them like not liking you. Like you think like that one sentence has now defined the rest of the day and the whole relationship.
Yep.
And it stays in your head. They could tell you a million nice things about you, but that one thing that they said that was a little off is always going to be the forefront of your mind. So now everything else they say is a lie.
Yep. And then like you can't get it out of your head. And I remember the first day I took my ADHD meds and I thought, oh my God, my brain is empty.
Yeah, I mean, what Faith was saying, it kind of makes me think of when she was saying that. My first thought was my son's piece of shit sperm donor. Like low key, like, cause he honestly he cheated either on me or on her. I don't know which. I really don't know. I'll never get the honest answer. But
I have social anxiety, so yes.
But he when I found out about the second baby, he's like, I didn't want you to find out this way. Like, why didn't you just tell me? Because clearly I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, I have social anxiety. I have like I don't go out a lot.
Yeah, I
Because
don't like it either.
I can't go out without like my husband with me. Like it's like a thing. It's like a real thing. Like I'll have a panic attack. Like even like sitting in the car to like pick my kids up from school or something. Like I'll start having a panic attack in this like pickup line.
the treatment's been awesome now that I'm on it and like but I still am like a homebody. Because
Yeah.
I honestly like get so I'll say stuff still, like even like my verbal impulsivity is better, but I definitely will still say things like I don't mean. And then I'm like, see, this is why everyone hates me.
Or when you try to joke with somebody and they kind of just look at you. That happened to me today. Because I was at Walmart and this manager was coming to bring this guy a piece of candy, and I'm like, oh, he's got something for you. And the guy just looked at me and I'm like, oh, fuck. Maybe I should have just kept my mouth fucking shut.
Yeah. Like if I have like, I don't know.
And then
The other-
my thing is after I say something that I shouldn't say, and I'm like, oh, sorry, Katie. Oh, I'll finish. No, Katie, go ahead.
Oh, example of me and my ADHD. I did a podcast this week on Forgive Me for I've Followed. And I listened to the podcast. It came out yesterday. And then like I hyper fixated on the fact that I didn't answer one of the questions, and it was like a 2-part question, but I only answered the first part. And so then I hyper fixated on that part, and then I was paranoid that it was going to make it seem like I was being selfish and it wasn't about the survivors, and I was making myself the victim, and that's not what I was trying to do. And like I got so hyper fixated on that I'm like texting the producer and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so disappointed. And then like by the end of it, I was like, it's my fault.
Uh,
Is if I say something that I don't mean, especially when I get like, I don't know if anybody else gets it, but I'm sure Katie understands. Like you get so frustrated and like just so like wound up in your head. Sometimes it just like comes out and you don't mean it, and you just like snap, and then like you get over it and you expect everything. You expect them to get over it, and you're like, why are you still mad about it? Like
That's kind of how I felt when I was texting the producer of the podcast. I was like, never mind, it was my fault. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. Oh, it was a good podcast though. Kelly,
I'm so excited that you were on it though. I can't wait to hear it.
you can. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Spotify. It's on.
It's out now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone go check out the podcast.
Forgive me for I have followed. By the way, Miranda's not going to be at Christmas this year.
Who's Miranda and why is she not being at Christmas?
I'm on the TikTok called Miranda Derrick.
Oh, she was on the podcast, wasn't she?
No. She's in the cult. She's in the cult.
is that blonde lady?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. The blonde lady, Miranda?
Yeah. Let me
It's been a
show you.
minute since I've watched it.
I have a picture of her. Hold up.
Why was she kicked out of Christmas?
She wasn't kicked out. She just is basically not talking to her parents right now because
Yeah.
of the documentary. And all they are trying to do is help her get free of this. And it's just been awful, honestly. It's been almost 4 years for them that they've been dealing with this. It's just been like heartbreaking. But Melanie, their daughter, is there right now. Her
And she's
husband,
got brown hair, right?
yeah, here, I'll show you.
I don't know if you are a hands-on learner, but like with my ADHD, I have to do stuff hands-on.
That's Melanie in the middle, and then Kelly's the blonde, and then Dean is on the side there. So that was the TikTok. That was the live they did in February of 2022. And that's how I found out about the story. But so right now, Melanie's at home, and she's going to be at home until Monday. And Melanie is married to Austin Eichler, who is a running back for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, Austin can't be there, but Austin is getting over a concussion right now.
Damn.
Yeah. So Dean and Kelly are going to be without both girls on Christmas.
Really sad. I can't believe their daughter ended up in a cult just by dancing on TikTok and then just became really extreme.
And it's just the way that she treats her parents. It's so awful, honestly. Like, Robert is such a piece of crap.
It kind of makes me wonder. I feel like he's probably got some kind of not fixation, but he's got her brainwashed.
This is the dipshit that Miranda has been brainwashed by.
He's not even attractive.
No, he's 66 years old. He's a former medical doctor. He still calls himself a doctor, even though he hasn't been licensed to practice medicine since 1994.
I don't know
Jesus,
why.
I was 1 year old.
I don't know why, but I always assumed that if I was going to be led into a cult, it had to be by an extremely attractive person. Like, I don't know why that was my thought process.
I don't know. I wouldn't survive because I'm rebellious. My ADHD would be like, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
My ADHD would not be able to handle it. Like, I am extremely rebellious.
I wouldn't last long in a cult.
Lightning Bear
I'd
Gibbs-
last 2
Lightning Bear
seconds.
Gibbs said that you joined his cult, Faith.
I run his cult. I run his life. You better stop.
You're in my cult.
Exactly. I joined Katie. Sorry.
The moment I would get into a cult, they'd be like, "Oh no, this bitch is too much. You're leaving. Bye." We're gonna. You want to be a part of us? No, thank you. We're kicking you out.
No. Oh, I do. I do have him as moderator. Okay.
I'd be kicked out
He's got a lot of.
or escorted out.
Faith's husband will beat you up if you mess with us. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
We love TikTok Shop.
He looks scary, but he's actually really cuddly. Believe it or not, he's a crybaby.
Today I had something really weird happen, and I thought it was my baby daddy, and I'm very convinced it still was.
So, okay, so Robert Shin has been suing me since April of 2022. And Robert Shin believes that I planted stories into people's heads. And that's
What?
why everyone is talking about him. Like, I just found people to spread my narrative. Like, that's what he tells people.
But
Like, it's like he actually believes that Kelly and I met before all of this went live, and we created this whole narrative, and we found all of these people of his victims that were in his church to come forward and accuse him of SA and fraud.
doesn't his like platform? Because I looked on it on here, they had like a million or something or 1,000 something followers or something on there.
No, I mean, Miranda has like a couple million, I think.
But I thought they had something too. I
Really?
had found something, but it was a while ago.
On Instagram.
Hmm?
They have one on Instagram. And on the Instagram one, for the longest time, it was all about me.
Mm-hmm.
He loves me. Roberto, I love you. I'm just waiting for his trolls to show up.
I was watching like Miranda, I think that was her name. Her videos, they're very cringy.
Yeah, she's so isolated now. Like, she doesn't see anyone. She's only with her husband right now. It's like so sad. She's so isolated. Her
Because
husband-
isn't she married to that black guy?
Hey, now. She's married to James.
I didn't know his name. Sorry.
We don't identify people by their race.
Is
I didn't know
his
his name. I just remember what he looked like. I just couldn't remember his name.
is he's the one that introduced her to the cult, isn't he?
I
Yep.
think so.
He is.
Because I think he took both the sisters at one point.
Yeah, he was in a cult before this cult. He's cult hopping. This is his second cult.
If it happens, I get kicked out and I have to join different cults. So far, I've lasted the longest in Katie's. Hello, Katie.
Yeah. Well, it's not that great because tonight we only have 861 diamonds for our cult. So this cult experience hasn't been that fruitful. We won't be able to build our temple.
I don't think you'll be able to build much with that.
No, I don't even think it's $1 at this point.
No. It might be 50 cents.
I know. Like, yeah. It's all good.
That's your live goal?
I didn't set one.
No, it's got this little thing on the top. This person.
I pinned him.
Cheers. Best cheers. And she's got 2 out of 20.
Faith's gonna be like, I got a trust fund. I'll fill up your bank. Oh, and then Faith's husband's like, I got a trust fund. I'm gonna fill up your bank.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use my wife's trust fund.
He's got his own. He owns his own company.
Aww, your kids are so cute. You've got the cutest kids ever.
Thank you, thank you. I would like to say it takes after she takes after me, but you know, you never know. He likes to say it takes after her. Him.
How's your baby doing? The one that
He's
this
he's
no
doing
no
alright.
not the baby. The baby. The girl.
How is my almost 2-year-old?
Yeah, that doesn't accept her baby brother.
She's getting better now that her dad is like, because her dad does most of the stuff with the baby, so is enjoying that. 'Cause she's a daddy's girl. So now that he's handling it a little bit, she's alright with it.
Okay. We didn't really have a lot to talk about with Dixie tonight. It was like not that much happening because Bree has been quiet.
I think everyone's been quiet because Ken's missing. Ken is literally he's flown away.
I am convinced that Ken and Gypsy are like like when Nina's like they broke up, I'm like, yo, they broke up like 37 times. Like, stop, Nina. Just stop. You know what? This picture should be.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
The double crime sisters.
Who wakes up in the morning and is like, that's what I'm gonna look like?
I don't think she's a choice, Katie. That's her skin.
Nina's stands drive me crazy, is what Nina's stands do.
What drives me crazy is when she keeps saying stuff like it's a huge secret, and then she makes you sit there for 20 seconds while she tries to explain the one thing that's already been out there for 2 weeks.
You know what I've noticed about her lately is that she looks at small creators' stuff and then she lifts it as their own and then she says she has a source.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Lacey Peterson top. What does that mean?
I
guys-
think Gypsy's top. I think that's who they're talking about.
It's like Lacey Peterson, but people like are weird. They like tie things to things that are just like.
Lacey Peterson was a tragedy, and Scott should rot in hell.
Yeah, he can sit in prison with the Menendez brothers for fucking ever. I'm probably the only person in the world that doesn't want them out of prison, like ever.
I heard they're getting out.
They're never
No.
getting out.
They're never getting out. I actually had this like conversation with the reality Julie lady because she's from Canada about the Menendez brothers because I don't think she understands how the justice system in the United States works. And she'll cover these crime cases, and I feel like it's weird when people that aren't from the country cover our crime cases. Because like, how do you cover a crime case if you're not from our country? Like, and you don't understand our penal code? It just seems weird to me.
Isn't the sentences in Canada a lot lighter?
Yes, way lighter.
Deserve to be out. They
Like,
literally
I don't
massacred
understand,
their
but,
family.
like, why do Canadians take an interest in like our lives? Like, don't they have their own things to talk about? It just seems odd.
Yeah, I've never thought like, you know what? Let me look up this Canadian murderer.
Yeah, like I literally don't pay attention to Canada, and I live by Canada. like, dude, Canada is like, how far is it? 7 hours from here? 6 hours?
I know everything I know about Canada from South Park.
Canada is literally like 5, 6 hours from here. Okay? Like I could drive to Canada right now because I'm in Minnesota. But that's how little I care about Canada is how much I don't pay attention to anything that happens in Canada. So is it just like this it's like when people ask me to cover stuff like that happens in Australia, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like that one mom that was on TikTok with the Munchausen's thing that everyone was saying was Munchausen's, but then the police said don't talk about it because defamation is a crime. And I'm like, we're not going to talk about it because defamation's a crime. Defamation's a crime, and Australia has really lax criminal justice. Like they're like Canada. Like there was a parent in Alberta. This is one of the only cases I've ever covered in Canada. And they did faith healing with their child, and he got gangrene. And he literally died of gangrene because they were not treating him. And those parents were out of prison during all of the trial. And then even after they were convicted at trial, they were still free for like more than a year because they didn't get sentenced right away. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Canada?
They just let him walk around. Like, oh, you get sentenced any day now. Just have to go on about your life.
Yeah.
There's this case, not like murder, but or schmurder, I should say. Murder. Unalive. But there's this teenager from a school I used to go to when I was from like I want to say 9th grade to 12th or whatever. And this girl was driving and she posted a video on Snapchat where she said, I almost unalived them. And like about, I want to say like 5 minutes later or something, they were unalived. 3 of them were unalived, teenagers, and one teenager. I kind of know him because I hung out with his sister, and I know his mom a little bit because my mom and his mom didn't really get along, and my mom's ex-boyfriend dated her. So the girl that was driving the vehicle apparently was on a lot of rugs on top of parent juice, on top of parent juice. So she had a concoction of rugs and parent juice. And she had gotten like so many like months or whatever or days or whatever in jail, and the rest it was like 5 years probation. And she just went back because she broke her probation period. She broke her probation status and wasn't following it. She like messed with the ankle monitor at one point, and then that was for like they said like 8 hours or something like that, and the next time it was like 24 or something, 24 or 26 hours or something like that, where it was messed with. And now she's like she just got charged again, new charges, and her bond was 20.
Where was this?
Lincoln County.
Where?
Lincoln County, Troy,
Where?
Missouri.
Missouri. Oh, sorry. Okay.
And her bond was like $20,000, and she got bonded out. And her next trial, like her next parts of like for them to go to court is like January 6th or like the 9th of next year.
Yeah, Missouri's weird.
Am I the only one that? Oh, sorry.
Oh, someone asked how is Australia lax? It's because your sentencing is like way less than what we would do here.
You guys give like 10 years for murder.
Somebody asked what was juice. It's called parent juice. It's because TikTok doesn't like the actual word.
So, what I was gonna say about my conversation with Julie was like she's so adamant that the Menendez brothers are gonna get out, and I was like, I don't really think you understand what just happened. And I was like, okay, so the guy that did the resentencing memo, he was super unpopular and everyone hated him. And he's the same DA in California that won't arrest Robert Chin, so I hate him. And he decided right before, while he was losing the election, to try to resentence the Menendez brothers. And then he lost by a landslide.
So they're not getting resentenced because he's not on there anymore.
And the new prosecutor doesn't agree with his position. And he flat out said, we do not try our cases on Netflix.
You know, also, they were grown ups, just like Gypsy. They could have left, walked out the door with a doorknob. There are doorknobs. Hell, there's even windows.
I don't believe that their essay claims, honestly. They were trying to like get other people to confess to that, and like they were trying to get a girlfriend to say that she was ard by their dad. Like, I don't know.
They spent a lot of money in a month.
They bought like whole businesses and houses, and they played tennis and Rolexes, sports cars.
Even all right. They're grieving real hard.
Yeah. And if your dad was abusive, why'd you have to kill your mom? Make it make sense.
And one that doesn't want the Chrisleys out of jail either. The only one thinks that their sentence is fair and they should stay there.
Why are you coming into the chat and asking about Ethan when that's not what we're talking about? So I don't care about Canada. So I just think it's weird when people are from Canada. And then she said on a live that Canadians don't get paid. And I don't believe that. She said She said that TikTok creators can't get paid that are from Canada. And yeah, they can. They can do lives and get paid. She could do promotions and get paid.
There's people that get paid from TikTok all around the world.
Right. And then another thing that I'm not super fond of with her platform is that all she does is pulls up TMZ and then just reports what they said.
Wow.
Like, I don't know how that
feels.
And then if I actually tell her stuff about Gypsy, she's like, well, I would need proof for that. I told her that Gypsy thinks they're friends and Gypsy follows her and she doesn't believe me.
Can I just look at her followers?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to get off because I got a headache
Okay, go
from crying most of the day. So
on.
I'm going to get off and try to get rid of this headache.
I'm sorry about your loss.
About your loss. Thanks for joining us tonight.
So, thank y'all so
Have
much.
a good night.
Y'all too.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Okay,
night.
I'll drop Kay and Creative and if two other people. Thanks for joining tonight, Kay and Creative. And I will see if there's
Hey,
a
Katie.
What's up?
Did you cover the Chrisleys?
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was just wondering because I actually have like a disdain for Todd Chrisley.
Yeah, I have a lot of things I wish I could say.
Oh, is that something you don't? Sorry.
No, That's Frida. So if there's other people that want to come up, but I still don't, I think it's weird, but like, maybe I'm just different. Maybe I'm just picky, but I spend a lot of time researching and doing due diligence when I cover things. And I think pulling up TMZ and literally just reporting what TMZ said is just, that's lazy journalism. It's just like,
I mean, anybody could do that. They can just go look at it.
yeah. So what's your point? Why are you making a video of you literally talking about what's on TMZ?
Is that Frida? That's your ferocious puppy?
That is.
She looks adorable in her little sweater, though.
Gypsy always cancels herself. How did she not cancel herself? Tonight we are looking for Rod's illegitimate children.
Or mistresses, whichever one comes first. And if she's pregnant, you get 10 points.
Or non-related. These people, I swear to God, that's Bree. She's muted.
I agree.
Wait,
Goodbye.
who was it?
I don't know. It's always like these people that show up and they're like, that's a cute doggy. That's Frida. Why do you want to come up, Queen USA? I just muted you.
Oh no.
Goodbye. Why would you want to come up on panel? I just muted you. You're not invited. You're literally not invited.
You can't sit with us.
You're not invited to my club. You were on there talking about Sister Wives. We started talking about Cody and Christine tonight. That's what we were talking about at the beginning.
I can't believe Christine went and got a matching tattoo with him after like a couple months. Like that's crazy behavior.
That's a lot.
You cannot tell her fans that she's being impulsive and wild. Like, you literally cannot say a word. Her fans will be like, leave her alone.
The only thing that I'm actually loving is just how much she's like mean about Robin. That's it. Like that's the only thing I like is that she's so blunt about it now because she doesn't care anymore. And other than that, no.
Nobody even talks about them anymore. That's why this season is boring. Because, like, Christine's in her, like, I got a new man era. And, like, it's all just, like, Mary talking shit about Cody. And it's kind of boring because it's like, Mary, you guys broke up 10 years ago. Why are you acting like this is brand new?
And Mary won't say the real problem. Like I wish she would come out and say it's all Robin. Just blast Robin one good time.
Or say, like, I abused the kids and that's why Cody hates me. I don't know.
That'd be some good self-reflection right there.
Like,
I don't know. Go ahead.
maybe you should say that you beat the kids, Mary, and stop acting like you're always the victim.
I was going to say something that bothers me about Christine is the fact that I mean, obviously we don't know everything, we weren't there, but she acts like she's done all this healing and that she knows better than Janelle, she knows better than all this and that, and I don't like that.
She does know better than Janelle. That's facts.
Well, she does, but she talks down to her in a way that to me it's like, after being in a relationship with narcissists and abusive men, I wouldn't like being talked down to like that. It took me years to understand.
I disagree with that. The world of Mormonism is they're not allowed to say shit to anyone. And so they just have to walk on eggshells all the time. And Janelle gets mad at Christine literally just asking her questions. And I think
That's true.
Janelle annoys the shit out of me, honestly. Like, Janelle's son killed himself. And she's on podcasts calling Cody charismatic, saying she would still be in polygamy. She's launched a business called Tata Farms, which has no business plan. She is selling t-shirts of insults and abusive language Cody used against her. She's just like,
That's true. You are right there. I do agree with that. I guess where I'm trying to come from is I think Christine doesn't know as much as she thinks she does. Maybe let me put it that way.
on that. I disagree that what you're seeing, in my opinion, is that Christine is out of the cult and Janelle still believes. And so Christine can't say anything to Janelle that's truthful because Janelle will shut her down. And so then Janelle will call her abrasive and say that she's pitying her when she's not. Sometimes the truth is just the truth. And the truth is Janelle would go back to Cody 100% if he gave her equal.
And that's the truth. And I see that all over. She won't say nothing bad. She won't like completely disconnect at all. They don't have a relationship at all. They haven't had one in years. Her son is gone. If anything, she should definitely disconnect completely, and she won't. She won't even take him to court over the land or nothing. She won't do anything. She's just sitting there.
That's true.
Her son died. And she did not, I mean, she's still on a show with his fucking abuser. And if anyone ever dares to say that Cody did not contribute to that child's death, no.
He contributed 100%. The stuff he said about his son on national TV.
Yeah. That child ended his life after his dad spent 3, 4 seasons berating him. And then now, you know what's weird? Suddenly that storyline disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
No. We're not going to say all people deal with grief different. No, we're not going to say that. I'm so tired of being gaslit by the Sister Wives fans saying that we are supposed to extend grace to these people because all they want to do is sweep it under the rug so they can keep making money. That's all they care about. Janelle Brown says, my kids are well adjusted. No, they're fucking not. Maddie has a podcast and says, I'm not well adjusted. Maddie says, my mom was in an abusive marriage. My mom made me take care of my siblings.
And the fact that her son took his own life.
Janelle has this rose-colored fantasy that Christine cared for her children, but yet she fails to tell the public she left Cody for 5 fucking years. 5 years.
Yep.
And during that time, Christine wasn't watching the kids.
They also failed to say how he got on national TV and said he didn't want anything to do with his sons, how his sons attacked his wife and that they could stay out of his life and that his sons were narcissists and his sons were terrible people for like seasons, for years.
All of you are just a bunch of jerks. I'm tired of it. And literally, if my son died the way that Garrison died, that day I would quit. I wouldn't give a shit about the contract. And they just kept on filming.
I would have quit and Cody, I would be blasting his. She's better than me.
Then why is Christine still wanting to, like, she talks how she doesn't like Cody, but she's still on a show with him, though?
All on a show with him. They're all literally on a show with their abuser. And none of them will call him what he is, an abuser.
Yeah.
Secretly, they all wanted to be the pick me, but he picked Robin. That's the problem. That's really the problem. Christine was okay with getting more time than Mary and Janelle until Robin came in, and then she had a problem because it wasn't her. That's really what happened.
Well, Christine would have stayed with him as long as he would have had sex with her. I mean, and Janelle would have stayed with him as long as she would have gotten land from him, and Mary would have stayed as long as he would have said stay. You know, like now Christine has moved on, but this gloating of her new relationship all just feels like she's trying to compete with Cody and Robin.
Everyone forgets that when she left, the one thing that she said that made her leave was that they were not intimate. She didn't want to stay in a non-intimate marriage. She didn't say because of.
Oh yeah, but Janelle, like, you know, Janelle lies about them having sex, right?
Also about Christine when they did the big breakup scene where she was like, we can't have a non-intimate marriage, and she was like, are we going to have one or not? And he pretty much said no, and that was her breaking point. Not the letting my child almost die of kidney failure because you're with someone else. No, that wasn't your breaking point. It's because he didn't want to sleep with you. That was your problem.
Right. And they all, I mean, the women are victims of the cult, right? So you're like sympathetic to that, but now they have an opportunity to leave and not be a part of the show, and all they're doing is staying because they're greedy. And why would Christine want to drag a new man into this shit?
I was sympathetic about the cult thing if they didn't have the money that they had. Like, they had plenty of chances to take their chunk and walk the hell off, and they chose to stay.
And I will tell you something. Christine hasn't apologized to her fucking aunt, Kristen, to this day. Christine's trying to be like, I was a fraud. I lied for 20 years about myself and the show. I lied about everything. My biggest regret is that I lied and I was a fraud. But yet she's done nothing to rectify the damage she has caused and the hurt they've done to victims of this cult. You know, Kristen Decker to this day still gets messages that she's a horrible, wicked woman and an evil aunt and a terrible, like, relative to Christine because of that episode. No, her aunt wasn't on another show. Her aunt's been in documentaries, but like her aunt is a staunch advocate. Like right now, I've been working with her aunt, and I'm trying to find a production company so we can get a show or a podcast going about the truth about the Apostolic United Brethren. Like that's been like my side project I've been working on for like several months.
That would be amazing.
I had a meeting where I pitched the idea yesterday. I pitched it to a couple different outlets, so I had a meeting yesterday about it.
You're definitely going to get it somewhere. That would be amazing.
I've interviewed Kristen like 2 or 3 times, but I like talk to Kristen all the time. I actually talked to Kristen today.
You know
And
what's really weird? Oh, good.
I talked to Tanya at Holding Out Help, and I send her the stuff about Christine's child support. And we want to find out if Cody had like more than one legal marriage, because we would like love that to be the truth. It's been like frustrating because there's like one of the daughters of the prophet of the AUB. Her name is like Notes to Self on TikTok, and she's sympathetic to polygamy. She is like a huge like one of her. She's close to this guy named Maroney Jessup, who is a former polygamist and a fucking misogynistic piece of shit. And she and her husband come from the cult, and they still think that polygamy should be not, they like that it's decriminalized. Even though she disagrees with her dad and some of the abuse, like she was okay with it until her brother died and then he didn't help with the funeral. Like she's 50 and she was trying to encourage Christine and Janelle to go get a release from her dad after saying that her dad's a piece of shit. Like, why the fuck would you even say that?
What I don't understand is why they need to release, because you're not legally married, so you're just breaking up with like a boyfriend, and you're a side chick. He's legally married to Robin, so you can just really walk the hell off. Really, you can just walk off.
It's true. There's I have a solid group of like apostates that are like not sympathetic to polygamy. Like one that I speak to all the time. You might see her in chat sometimes. Her name's Ellen. That's not her real name, but that's the name she uses on social media. Her grandpa was Owen Allred, who is the prophet. She's Kristen's niece. And
Is she related to Christine then?
yeah, she's Christine's, let me see.
Some sort of cousin, wouldn't it be?
Her dad is Rex's cousin. So she and Christine are second cousins. But she was in youth group and Cody and Christine were leaders.
They
And
literally like have them teaching young people.
Yeah. And she grew up with Mary's youngest sister, I think. She was friends with Mary's youngest sister.
It's insane. It's like I guess that's what a cult is, though. They're brainwashing them while they're young.
Yeah. And she has tried to like interact with like different AUB people that speak out and stuff. And they're just like, unless you speak their narrative, like they block you. Like the cult mentality of some of these people that think that like have a problem with growing up with polygamy, the YouTube channel too.
Have you seen the girl on TikTok that like, I can't think of her name, but she's like, her dad was like one of the higher up people, and I forgot what group he was, but she's here on TikTok, and she was actually on 1 or 2 of the episodes escaping polygamy. She's got a pretty big following on here. I can't think of her name though. And she got out.
Amanda?
Is that her name? She's got like brownish hair. She's like maybe like a little scar on her lip.
Amanda?
Is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Have you spoken to her?
I've talked to Amanda. She's sweet. Like the girls from Escaping Polygamy are sweet. They're from the Kingston group.
Yeah, that was the name. Yeah, I've seen some of her videos, and I was like shocked to find out how many siblings she actually has.
Yeah, the Kingstons are gross. They all marry their cousins and uncles and like their siblings. It's like they marry their half siblings. It's disgusting.
Some of those people have like 200 kids.
Yeah. Amanda, I don't think she's Daniel Kingston's daughter. No, she's not. Amanda's not Daniel Kingston's daughter. Oh, are you talking about Nicole? Is she the attorney?
I don't think she's an attorney. I know she's in college. Are you talking to the chat? You might be talking to the chat.
There's
No, she.
Amanda has a YouTube channel. There's Jessica and her sister. God, she's got blonde hair. I can't remember what her name is. There's Khalid.
The last one that I seen, she wasn't any of the. She wasn't like a main character or a main fixture on Escaping Polygamy. She was in like
Oh,
two
Amanda
episodes.
Ray. Okay, she is Daniel's daughter. No, Amanda's not Daniel's daughter. No, she's not Daniel's daughter. No, she's not. Because she's not Jessica's sister. No, she's not Daniel's daughter. Colleen.
It might be Colleen. I think it might be her. The only thing I know is I seen her where she was saying that all they got was like a sack of potatoes a month and some crazy stuff with all these kids. I'm like, wow, couldn't be me. Gotta walk
That
away.
you're talking about Colleen. That's Colleen.
Dad would just show up on her mom's ovulation cycle and then leave. I was like, what?
That's Colleen.
That many wives though? There's got to be some overlap, so that's just disgusting. Like, you realize that.
There's Jessica, and I can't remember the blonde girl that became the lawyer. She's their Daniel. Colleen is Daniel's. Colleen was on Sister Wives. But Amanda is not Daniel's daughter. I don't remember who Amanda's dad is, but I don't, she's not their sister. She's like their cousin. I don't know who her dad is.
Watching how those like people like reacted was
You guys know Escaping Polygamy is fake. It was fake. Like those weren't real escapes. It was all staged.
I always
Jeff,
wondered that because the way they were literally loading dressers
we
into a
were talking
U-Haul.
about Colleen is Daniel's daughter, 100%.
Yeah, I was talking about Colleen. She's on TikTok, but the way that Escaping Polygamy does, where like they're loading dressers and stuff, and they're like so worried. Like, why would you take a dresser? Why? Take the clothes that you need and walk out the door with your 52 children.
Yeah,
Go.
well, it was fake. It was
I
fake.
figured when they were loading nightstands. I was like, why do you need a nightstand? Like, get out the door.
There's Jessica and her older sister, Marianne, and her other sister that has the blonde hair. I can't remember what her name is. They have Hope After Polygamy, which is an amazing organization if you ever feel like helping a group or holding out help. Those are two really good organizations.
What do they help them get like reestablished after they leave?
And they have resources and stuff. Yeah.
I can't imagine being a mom leaving polygamy with like 10 children. Like, that would be hard. Extremely hard.
Yeah. And like, it's not the way the sister wives make it seem.
They make it seem like it's sunshine and roses, and then when you see like actual people who've literally lived polygamy, like live in like shacks, like the
Well,
some of
they,
their wives live in deplorable
wives,
conditions.
yeah, that's how they all live before the show, but they won't fucking say that. Like on the show, they'll never say that. Like the entire premise of that show is just it's fake. It's phony. Like they all hated each other the whole time. They never got along. Like
How can you get along when you have to watch your husband go into someone else's bedroom? What do you think they're doing? Playing cards? Like, I would never be able to look that girl in the face. Like, it would be a fight over breakfast.
and Robin was literally like on the hunt because she wanted to be on the show. Cody needed an TLC wasn't interested in them unless they had another wife. So Cody needed to find a wife. It's gross when you actually know the truth.
I seen somewhere that they were saying that where it was like in their book, it was like Cody said he's seen her at church, or like was it an interview? He said he had seen her at church and he was interested in her, But
No, in the book,
then,
he doesn't say that. He said that on the show last week.
yeah, that's my, and like, but then, like, he contradicted himself because he said that Mary had introduced them.
Yep. Did you watch my video today?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah,
Like, as
I
soon as we
covered
get
that
off,
whole
share it to
thing.
me.
I literally covered that whole thing.
I was so confused. Like, that's not what you said, sir. That is not what you said. I think that they had already been dating, and Mary was just they just used her as a reason.
So all of the escapes were like staged. They weren't real. Like there was an escape for a girl named Martha, and that wasn't real. Like I've talked to Martha's mom.
Is she a polygamist or was she just fake altogether?
She was from the FLDS. The whole thing was fake. Like she had already left.
Hear each other's wild. Horror girl, that is true. See, I'd be breaking down doors. I'm just a very territorial person. Could never be me.
Yep. All right, I need to rest. This has been an enlightening chat. It was mellow. It was a Friday night.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had a lot of fun.
We had fun tonight. We didn't do anything serious.
We gotta do more about polygamy.
I know
It
we
Yeah.
do.
intrigues me.
You get like all excited about it. I love this about you. You
So
often
interested in it. I really am.
You need to watch my two videos today if you haven't seen them yet.
I will. I'm gonna go watch them after we get off here. I'm super interested in that. I can't believe because it's so weird to me that someone can be like tricked. Like I don't know. It's just the mindset that you have to be in to just go with that is crazy to me.
I did the first video today was just what you were talking about. What he said about what he said on the show was different than what he said in the book. He made it seem like it was Mary's idea, but it wasn't really Mary's idea. That's all in that video.
It was like lightning hit her. I was like, no, you mean a paycheck hit you? That's what hit you.
Well, the lightning bolt that they say that because they're supposed to get divine revelation from God that that's their person.
I want somebody to point out in the Bible to me where it says that it's okay for you to have that many wives and just not take care of your children. Like I'm not even like I've never even read the Bible, but I can guarantee you it's nowhere in there that it says that.
Right. I want someone to point to me where it says that you should share your husband's penis.
I really want them to so badly because that's so false. And then for him to be like, it's because it's going to get us to a higher level of heaven. No, the hell it's not. You sleeping with multiple women is not going to get you anywhere but chlamydia, sir.
Right? True facts right there.
My husband just smiled when you said
Oh, this is why we love Faith.
I
Anyone
know.
who picks on this sweet, sweet flower must answer to me.
She's our beautiful flower.
She is. She is the most beautiful flower, and I pick her because she's a beautiful flower.
Thank you. But I'm really surprised that they don't have something. Like, they have to.
Have you seen, you remember Robin's face in the early season? She was always had cold sores. Probably she had to like be his best customer.
Who was it that said that Robin did stuff in the bedroom?
Cody likes the back door.
Yeah, he does.
That's what I heard. I heard that she would do stuff in the bedroom the other wives wouldn't do.
Yeah, like the back door.
Impressive.
She had to step it up. She had 3 other contestants right behind her. Like, she was in a run.
The women didn't want to do it, and they weren't like into that. Like, who wants to?
Even still doing it when they were pregnant, because I know some polygamous groups do not believe
No,
in.
you're not supposed to have sex after they like stop procreating. Lauren, you need to stop believing Cowboy. Like it's not going to be a good look for you if you like think his stuff is legitimate. He's a fucking liar. And yeah. If you're going to cover Gypsy, which I think you do a decent he's a liar. Ew. He like
Yeah,
got
Lauren, he's a liar.
got chased off the internet 4 months ago because he lied about everything. I don't know how long you've been covering Gypsy. I haven't really paid attention, but like We shouldn't be trusting idiots off the internet. And he doesn't have an NDA. There's nothing with Netflix. I literally did a show with Netflix. You can't even say you have a contract with them. Period. Oh, you have Lauren blocked? Oh. She was on that thing. Lauren, you were telling Cowboy that you believed him, and I was like, I don't know if I'd like that.
Would you allow her on the panel?
I don't know.
Lauren, would you like to come up and tell us why you believe Cowboy so badly with no receipts, no screenshots, no videos, no pictures, no nothing to even prove that he knows Ken outside of wanting to know Ken?
My other thing, Lauren, is that you made a video of a comment and you said that it was from Gypsy Rose. I know the family and knew them, and I can tell you for a fact that you're not on their radar. Like you're not on their radar. That comment was not from Gypsy. It was maybe from one of her stands, but it was not from Gypsy. I'm sorry that a comment was made about your child, but it wasn't from Gypsy.
I mean, it'd be nice if she could share her story up here, maybe clear things up.
She can request, but she hasn't requested.
Well, Katie, side note, any of those people, oh, she's not.
She's like, okay, have a great night, y'all.
I'm
I
trying
just
to be
want-
nice.
You don't have anything to clear up? Okay, so
I genuinely was curious on why you believe somebody. Okay, you know what? I slept with Ken. How about that? That's about as good as Cowboy got. I slept with Ken. I signed an NDA. There you go. Now, do you believe me? You think I did it?
like, why do you believe him? Because it makes you feel like you have information? Like he's a liar. And why would you want to be associated with someone that's trying to out someone in 2024? Like that's so tacky and gross. And there's no Netflix documentary coming out. There's no nothing. Like they're under contract with Lifetime. There's nothing else coming out except for Lifetime. Sometimes your videos are good, Lauren, but sometimes you get stuff wrong. And I just wish, like, I don't know. Don't be part of the misinformation train.
Yeah, there's enough bad to go around. We don't have to make stuff up or believe false stuff.
Maybe we should block her. Then I'm gonna block her so I don't have to see her stupid videos anymore. Gypsy Rose doesn't want you to hear this. No, really, Lauren, shut up.
That's why TMZ knew it.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you had her blocked true crime clips.
Katie, you should have one of those people, if they're willing to, that like left polygamy, like do like an interview, like behind like a fake account, of course, because you know you don't want people to know exactly who they are. But I want to ask them like questions.
I totally just blocked Lauren. I just don't like content. Like, here's what I don't like about Lauren. I feel like Lauren jumped onto the train because she got views. She reads a little bit about the case and then she puts out videos and she acts like she has breaking news on the story and she's talking about shit from 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And it's old and it's tired. Like, she doesn't know the family. She has no ties to any of the people involved. She's just a random content creator. And the reason why she wants to believe Cowboys because it's one person that she thinks has information that they don't.
He has none, and I don't even understand why he's on panels saying that he did. And it should. I really think they should just sue him, to be honest. Like, if I was Ken, I would sue the hell out of him. Like, you're sitting here saying that you have a corn video of me that you're gonna release to prove you know me.
Boy guy that claims that he was on Grindr with Ken. And Christopher, yeah, if you want to be taken seriously as a content creator, you can't go chasing these idiots. Like, she was literally on the panel going, I believe everything you say. And I was like, Lauren, you also think that Gypsy went after your child, and like Gypsy doesn't give a shit about who you are, Lauren. She doesn't even know who you are.
Don't they think that there were all these like men out here that he had slept with or were talking to? Wouldn't there be more of them coming out? Wouldn't there be screenshots? Wouldn't there be pictures of them? There'd be
And
something.
had a girlfriend for 5 years that he lived with.
I really don't think, I mean, there's nothing wrong if he's bisexual, but I really don't think he is. It doesn't matter, but I truly don't think he is. No one, somebody would have came out by now. Like, it's not even a thing at this point.
It was you, your husband.
It was a threesome, I guess.
Your husband's gay for this day.
You gave her this day.
Your husband's gay for pay.
Sweetheart, I don't think Ken has enough money for the both of us. I'm gonna need you to back off my man.
Gay for this day. I love how like Gypsy's all talking about how she was a pillow princess, and her friend Nadatha, who was like her roommate's like that didn't happen. Like,
Can she not? Here's my problem with what she said. She's a pillow princess in jail. That would be all women. So I don't know how that works, but I'm assuming you would have to be a pillow princess in that situation just by the anatomy of it. So and how that would go. So I'm not really for sure what she's trying to say right now. Really,
I think
truthfully.
she's a pillow princess. I'm just saying.
Okay, all I heard was pillow princess, Katie. What did you say?
Oh, I think Bree's pillow princess.
Bree is the pillow, Katie.
Well,
And I can say that after all the stuff she said, and that's what she gets. And I have no remorse for it. None. Zero. Because she started that.
that's your fault, Bree. Did we just literally run Lauren off? We did.
She left before you blocked her, so yeah, I think you did.
I'm actually kind of glad that I blocked her so I don't have to see her stupid videos where she's like, Gypsy Rose doesn't want you to know. Like, Lauren, find a new craft.
Really bad. That is really embarrassing. Like, she really was up there, like, defending that guy. Like,
She
for
was like,
what?
I believe
No.
everything you say.
All I wanted was a screenshot or anything. He like if he really was legit, he would have screenshots up. He would. I don't understand why they just take his word for it. It's strange.
Well, Lauren just wants to be noticed by Gypsy, and I'm telling you, they don't give a shit about her. Like, she's not even on their radar.
I'm just a moderator, and I got noticed.
By a lot of people on here, so I'm noticed too.
But, like, I don't know. Who does Brie always talk about? Nina?
And you,
In her
and,
belly button.
Fancy?
and morbid.
Orbid? Starlight? I've never once heard her say Lauren's name. Never once. And so when Lauren made the video about a comment she got and she was all, Gypsy went after my child, I was like, I'm done with you, Lauren. That's not Gypsy, and that's a lie.
Oh yeah, and then she talks about both ivories, but that's about it.
Lauren's like irrelevant though. She's not on, like, I'm telling you, you guys, she's not significant enough to them. I can't tell you why they get latched on to certain people, but they don't care about her.
I think it depends on the following you have because you and Fancy had a pretty big following, and you know the most about them.
Well, they hate me because I was friends with them. They hate Fancy for the same reason. But Lauren's just a nobody. They don't know who she is. She's insignificant to them. They don't like Nina because Ken asked Nina out on a date. Like, there has to be a personal reason for them not to like you.
Wait, was this before or after Gypsy? It had to be before.
Before. Like before they got back together.
Too
I don't
bad she
know.
didn't go.
What's her last name? Lauren Cherie or whatever.
Something like that.
Her videos are so annoying. Her face is like all up front, and she's always got her baby holding her baby while she's talking about murder, which is so inappropriate. But she believes cowboy. Like, why? And I'm losing my patience with what's her face? Reality lady from Canada.
Yeah.
What's her name? Oh God, my brain.
I unfollowed tons of people that like started putting out because they were putting out the same thing repeatedly and they were like just feeding off of each other.
No, cowboy is not to be believed. He's a liar. He's just like cats and crochet.
We've
He's
been through this.
And I really just wanted to know what color the damn house was and why they picked it.
like the world of like the anti-gypsy we're not anti-gypsy, we're like just the truth. But I feel like the anti-gypsy world has like a small memory or a short memory because they forget that Cats and Crochet got chased off the internet in July and then came back. And then Cowboy got chased off the internet and then came back. Like they just get bored. They got to come back to try to get relevant again. And it's like they got chased off because they were lying. And there's content creators that just keep entertaining them because they don't have content. They're not actually talking to anyone that knows anything. And in any story like this, there's always relevant. There's always people that try to like act like they have something.
Can't wait for Gypsy to get off parole because it's just really gonna go crazy from there. Actually say all the stuff that she's holding in her head right now, it's gonna be wild. He's gonna be out of a job.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
Clip said she'll never trust him after the. Do you remember the live she was in with us? And she was like, they built the house from the sticks up. And we're like, no, they didn't. She's- she was the architect, the designer, the head of the Habitat for Humanity. She met with Gypsy, her lizard lips. Like, what?
Said that Gypsy attacked somebody and like attacked one of her people that were helping, and I was like, wait. And then she tried to say that Gypsy got caught drinking at a hotel or something, and like that she was underage, but she was. It was like a whole thing. It was like didn't make any sense with a stormtrooper from Comic-Con. Like,
It happened, but she pulled that from Facebook. But then she was trying to tell us that they didn't have a mortgage and they got the house for free. And I was like, remember, she got so mad. And I was like, but I have the documents right here. Dee Dee had two mortgages. One was like, I don't know, 69,000 and one was 12,000 at the time of her death. And this is how much they owed. And when she was murdered, Habitat filed a claim against her estate and the house was granted back to them because of their outstanding mortgages. And she was like so mad and pretended like she
I
never.
don't handle the financial stuff. I don't handle the financial stuff, but you just said that you knew that you gifted it.
Yes. She's like, but I said, you just said that it was free, but I don't handle the financial stuff. Oh, God. She was.
They picked the carpet, and then Gypsy kept changing the layout of the home, and we had to start over. And it's like, what are you talking about right now?
We were like, bitch, the house was already built. Bitch, please. Heaven has a target.
She's like, we had to decorate the kitchen and Disney stuff. Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, shut up.
And she just kept like trying to add more outlandish stuff just to like get people interested. Then she came back and it was all like, Gypsy assaulted my 9-year-old, but her daughter, if that were true, would be the same age as Gypsy, so she couldn't have been 9 at that time. Like, and then her daughter's age changed in that live. Like, it was a whole thing.
She was there just to attack like Gypsy's like stuff that people already knew that she knew would make people mad at Gypsy, like how she licks her lips and stuff. Like she just wanted to be mean and just spiteful at that point. She made it up and then tried to act like a sweet old lady, and then she turned into like an actual like maybe like 40 some sounding like woman in the middle of it, like changed her whole like sweet like I'm crocheting my grandson a sweater personality.
And then when she came back, she tried to get sympathetic with people and be like, Katie attacked me. And then Fancy was all, why did she attack Cats and Crochet? And I was like, because she's a fucking liar.
So freaking bad. Like, and then she got chased off of Morbid's live too.
Recently?
No, this was like last time she was on it. Like, she
know,
got chased
but I
off
was
because
like-
she wouldn't answer no questions.
And then Starlight's, well, I just had her up. Like, no, you guys as creators need to actually vet who you're talking to. Like, take some accountability. You have a responsibility not to spread bullshit.
Love the switch up from her old lady voice to her like normal voice. Like that's so fucking crazy.
She started trying to throw out names of people that work there, and I was like, what'd you look at their Facebook page? Like, and she's like, I was in the picture when they were like doing the Habitat for Humanity, so I sent it to her, and I was like, well, which one are you? And then she got mad because she said I was doxing her. And I was like, you said you're in this picture. Who are you?
Circle yourself and send it back. Damn.
Yeah, like, I don't know your name, but you said you were in this picture. Who the fuck are you?
Fire yourself.
Like, prove to me who you are. She's like, trust me, bro.
Change the carpet, and then it's like we look at it. All they added was a wheelchair ramp. Like we're done.
Right. Oh, God. I know. It was bad. She was terrible. And everyone believed her.
It's like the girl that went around saying that she was like Christie's like cousin, but she was like running from the mob, and they're like in witness protection and shit.
One day she told me on the phone that the FBI showed up at her house and they were like, do you have the medical records? And I was like, okay, you're crazy. You are nuts.
It was the Bayou Mafia, didn't you know? It wasn't they were pretending to be the FBI, Katie.
Oh, God. And then she was telling me she was in the witness protection program because her husband was in the cartel. And I was like, but this is your husband and he's not in the cartel. And then this is your ex-husband's like father-in-law and he's definitely not in the cartel or in prison. And then she tried to say that her dad was her bio dad was arrested for murder, and she gave me his name and I ran all of his records and I said he's never had a parking ticket. Like,
I'm not trying to take her dad down without a parking ticket. He is an upstanding citizen, ma'am. Like, what are you doing?
what are you doing?
Probably pays his taxes ahead of time. Like, don't do him like that.
People should not lie to me. They should know what I do. I have receipts. I will Google you. I will check your background. I will go into everything if you come to me for a story, because that's what you should do when you're vetting your sources.
Why would they come on a panel or even come out like that if they weren't expecting to be checked out? Like, you can't just say something. Someone's going to look at you. They are. Like, it's going to happen.
Suzette showing up. I can say that Suzette because Fancy has interviewed Suzette and Nellie knows Suzette, right? So it's like, God, these people.
It was so bad. And then that was like half of the creator's source was that one lady with witness protection. They had to like stop making videos for a week to like regroup. Like, about what they were gonna say.
And then I tried to tell everyone she was a liar and then they all got mad at me.
To come out and say she was a liar.
They had to do like a whole video and then they had to apologize to me. They always get mad at me when I'm like right. So I'll wait. I'll wait for Lauren to apologize to me for believing Cowboy.
So bad. Like, that's embarrassing.
It
Like
is so
witness protection. Like
confusing.
she can't say anything. We can't say her name because she's got all. No one's a witness protection on the internet. I promise you, it's not that serious. I promise you.
You're gonna tell me that yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine having a husband and witness protection from the cartel, and you go on a panel. Like, stop playing with me.
Can you pretend like you're related to Christy?
If your husband's in the cartel and you're like more worried about telling on Gypsy than your own house, like you're insane.
And I'm like, well, which cartel? And she's like, what did she, MS-13 or whatever? And I'm like, but that's in California and you're in Florida. That doesn't even make sense.
Is that even a cartel or is that just a gang? Like, I think there's a difference between a gang and a cartel, right? Like, or am I crazy?
No, I
There,
think MS-13 is a cartel.
They're an extremely violent cartel that originated in Mexico.
Yeah, they're a Mexican cartel.
okay, that I guess that they're more considered. I thought they were considered a gang. But I guess it makes sense that they have ties to Mexico. They probably run like trafficking and stuff.
Oh, well, so MS-13, they're probably like affiliated with the cartels then. All I know is they run drugs for,
Oh, they probably are affiliated with a lot of cartels. They probably are the ones that sneak everything in for them. They probably get a huge payout for that. But like, why would you say you're connected to any cartel? Why would you even want that backstory? I don't want that backstory. Like, doesn't make you cool. Like,
no, MS-313 is affiliated with the cartels. I know that for a fact.
drug running for the cartels.
Yeah, like the
Crazy.
cartels are all like they have different branches, and that's all like part of it because they are in Mexico too.
That's crazy. I would not want to be affiliated with that. But she could have picked like an actual cartel name. Like a cartel has a name, right? Like it's whoever's running it, like the main person. Don't they use like their last name? Like El Chapo, wasn't he the cartel leader?
Like, okay, so there was like, oh God,
If her husband was in that thing,
yeah,
in that, I forget what it's called, and then she like said it on like
yeah,
some like live internet thing.
yeah.
She wouldn't like see the next day.
I know she'd be dead. I know.
She'd be beheaded.
Beheaded. Like he was like he had a whole game plan. He's like, no, she wouldn't even just be dead. She'd be beheaded. Like she's done. Like,
Okay, so like Pablo Escobar, he was one of the most notorious cocaine cartel dealers like ever. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was like,
is he the one that escaped and then got out and then like came back?
no, he was before the guy that was from Mexico. Who is the guy that's like with the C? Um, that's in prison in the United States right now.
I have no idea.
He was
Yeah.
shot.
Oh yeah. So she was saying that they were part of the Sinaloa cartel. 'Cause that's who MS-13 works for.
Yeah. Yep. So they're not always named after like the person because Escobar, like his cartel was not named after him. He like took over for someone else, but he was like literally, who is the guy with the C that's Chavo? What is his name? Chapo. Chapo. So
Said earlier, El Chapo.
Escobar was like before Chapo. Okay. So like Pablo Escobar was like the Colombian like biggest cartel leader ever. Ran all of the snow from Colombia, ran that whole thing.
How do you even get ahead of that? Like, I just want to know, like, how do you just claw your way from the trenches to do that? Like, that is a feat, man.
He was a wanted man for so long, and then they finally found him, and they found him in a house, and he was killed on a roof. And he died when I was in college, when I was getting my degree in Spanish. So like when Escobar died, it was like, okay, so that cartel was like decimated, but then Chapo took over. So it's like there's always another guy waiting.
I don't understand why you would even say you were a part of that because, like, it takes the wrong person hearing that and you're done. Like, I would never admit to that. You couldn't torture that information out of me. Like, it's insane.
Ever. I know. Hi, Ellen. I was in the outlines, MC. If you lied about being in someone would cut out your tongue. What? Your husband was in a gang?
It was a motorcycle thing. It was a long time ago. It's a long time ago. Before I was with him. So, I know nothing about it.
X was in a Mexican gang as well. He was the only white guy.
But he really stood out then. You know, if the cop showed up, like they could just point out him out, right? Like,
No, they didn't. They didn't want to have a black kid going house to house because they knew this is what he said to me, that they knew like there would be sus. So if a white kid was going house to house, it didn't look as suspicious, and that's what he told me. And he was a kid when he started doing this into adulthood.
So, fun fact, James Derrick, you know, the 7M thing, married to Miranda. So before he was in a cult, he was in the Crips. So he went from the Crips to a cult to a cult.
couldn't hack it at gang life, I guess.
Well, gangs are like a cult. Like, so it's just like that whole mindset. Yeah, he was in the Crips. He did, I don't remember, he wasn't doing anything. He was like a barber.
A barber? He couldn't even run rugs. He was a barber.
I don't know. I don't know if he was a but he didn't do any of the bad stuff. Like, they get different jobs, I guess. I don't know.
Need a barber? They can't just go to a normal one? Like,
They all get different jobs. Like, that's what he did. Or I can't remember if he was a barber or if he did something, but he wasn't like doing the bad stuff.
I picked the job of law-abiding citizen. Just let me be cool.
So he was in the Crips, then he joined a cult, then he went to another cult.
Crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess saying that you're a barber for the Crips doesn't exactly have the same ring to it as cult member.
Right. I'm talking about James Derrick from the 7M. A lot of those guys actually were around the Crips. They're from South Central Los Angeles. So
Yeah, he just wanted friends. He should have joined a book club.
I mean, that's just like where they live. Like if you talk to like the people that he grew up with, like that's just what those neighborhoods are. So that's why some of those kids got into dance because it was like you either were like an athlete or in the gangs, right? And so a lot of those kids ended up getting into dance to get away from the gangs because like there's not a lot to do there. And the parents are like gone all the time and it's like very poor. And James's mother ended up in a coma.
It's really sad that like they have to turn to that because a lot of like because they grow up with that. Like everyone that they know wanted like street corners doing that. To them, it's just second nature.
He's just like, I talked to his ex-wife. He's got a child that he's like abandoned, basically. It's just so sad.
They like his behavior like
Yeah, he's
before.
optimistic, really controlling. But she said he's also like, she thinks he has autism.
Like easily influenced or like is that where she's going with it?
Yeah, like manipulative, like he almost like he has religious OCD and he has like mental deficits. And like her son is a lot like him.
It's really sad.
Everyone that you meet, that you talk to about James, they will always tell you that he's this kind of I don't know how they say he's like slow, but that's like them being from like that community. So it's like weird because like getting your kid help when you're like in that community, they just don't do that. Like they don't take their kids to get those diagnoses because they don't want to get the kids like they don't want CPS on their radar. They just don't want to deal with it.
Which is a shame because then it leads them to do stuff where he's at now.
Yeah. He's easily influenced.
What's that one Cole? It was like Jim. Was it Jim Jones? Is that who it was? The one that did like the Kool-Aid thing?
Yeah, that was Jim Jones.
It's tragic. That was really sad.
I mean, I feel like so Robert's whole group is like from that same belief system, which is the Pentecostal, like NARS.
I knew it was around religion. I just didn't know it was around like a religion that is because Pentecostal is like an actual like church type of like people go to churches.
That's what I mean. Jim Jones came from the Assemblies of God.
I can't believe he convinced all those people to go to this place and just start working for nothing.
Yeah, I know. He was on so many drugs too.
Documentary about that. Like,
So you know why I'm into cults? Did I ever tell you about this?
no, you didn't, but I'm interested to find out.
It has to do with what you're talking about.
Jim Jones?
Yeah. So, you know, you get like baby books. Like, I don't know if you had a baby book back in the day. Like, I don't have a baby book for my
My
son.
mom didn't care enough to freaking keep a baby picture, but sure. I didn't have a book.
Like, had a baby book for me, and they would like cut out the news and stuff, like from, you know, like what happened when you were born. Well, I was born November 10th, 1978. A week later, Jonestown happened.
Tell me they didn't put that in your baby book.
They did.
If that's something you should put in your child's book. I just feel like you could have found any other piece of news.
But that's why I got restricted. We got restricted just now. So, like, but that was the news when I was born. Like, that was everywhere. Like, 900 people were murdered.
Documentary, and when they chased down the ones that didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid was really sad. Like, that was super sad. That was
And the
awful.
senator, I mean, the reason why it was such a big story is because that senator was murdered. All right, I have 2 restrictions, and I'm just going to end it because I don't
Good
want
night,
to.
guys.
Good night, everyone.